It's Hillary again. I am back for Wellness Week, day number 4, and I'm going to talk about stress today. So, stress is something that we're all pretty familiar with. I'm going to assume we're familiar with stress, especially after 2020. And stress is something that is our bodies are able to recognize it and usually deal with, but our bodies are not meant to be under stress for long period of time. So another way to think about stress in a short term is fight or flight response. So when our bodies are stressed, our hormones and the fight or flight response is that your body is feeling like it's under attack and it's needing to respond to some kind of threatening situation. So, physical reactions to that could be your breath quickening or muscles tightening up, your heart rate increasing, things like that. And all of that is really good for situations when we are under some sort of threat or attack, and it helps us to be able to get out of that situation. But again, if it is a long term thing, or we are chronically stressed, or this is something that happens a lot that has a lot of negative health consequences. And so it is not good, obviously. I'm sure we all know that stress, especially in a long, drawn out situation, is not a good thing. And so I want to give you a wide array of different ways to deal with stress. And before I do that, I would love to hear how you feel you are doing with stress on a scale of 1 to 10. Or do you feel like you're maxed out stressed all the time, or you get stressed very easily? Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on how stressed out you are or how you feel like you deal with stress. And there's so many different ways to help de-stress, and I'm going to share maybe 4 or 5 different tips on dealing with stress, but I would love to hear how you guys deal with stress or what your favorite way to de-stress is, because it can be a personal thing too. Like for example, some people get de-stressed from cooking or baking, and that is the opposite for me. If I'm in cooking or baking in the kitchen, I am usually under stress. I do not like cooking. But some people do. So it's different for everybody. So I would love to hear some ways that you like to de stress. So, one of the things I want to talk about is, before we talk about some ways to deal with stress, first I want to talk about some ways to avoid it. So, avoiding stress in a proactive way, because again, there are a lot of negative health consequences to stress. And I didn't mention what some of those can be for long term, being under stress long term. So, some of those long term physical effects can be things like insomnia or obesity or decreased immune system, irritability, decreased mental capacities, or brain fog is what some people call it, where you just can't think very clearly or make decisions effectively. Um, like high blood pressure for with long-term stress. There's all sorts of bad things that can happen with that. So during these videos, as I've talked about each time, I am going through this pyramid. And so we've talked about eating right, we've talked about exercise, we talked about sleep and rest yesterday, and now we're talking about managing stress. And so one thing to look at first is, are you doing these things? If my fingers all over the place. If you just kind of take a step back and look at some of the basic needs of our bodies. Are you eating right? Like if you are under a bunch of stress, just scale back and take a look at your nutrition. Take a look at how much you're moving your body, how much sugar intake or caffeine or processed foods, because scaling back, or alcohol, scaling back on those things can help your stress levels and your overall body in general. Um, Definitely exercise. Obviously, exercise can help get those happy feelings, endorphins that can really reduce stress as well. Um, but like I said, taking a look at ways to prevent stress. So we are in a really busy, our culture, it's very busy. And I don't think that we were created to have these completely full days where it's just go, 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 go. And we have just booked ourselves with so many things. And so just thinking about things that you can say no to so that you have just pockets of time and margin in your day, and times where you're just able to relax, or you don't have something scheduled to do. Or maybe if you are the scheduler type where everything needs its place, like scheduling time where it's just open, nothing, relaxing, self-care. That's going to be really important. And I know that a lot of our schedules and routines have been very different this past year. But I have noticed that even though people aren't going as many places, or have as many things scheduled, like we still feel busy, or we still have a lot going on, right? um, Even if that's stuff from home. So take a look at those. Practice saying no. Practice saying no to things that you know cause you stress. So, are there certain situations or people or environments that you absolutely know cause you stress? And get creative. How can you change that up? Is that something that you need to completely cut out? Or is that something that you can tweak in a sense? Like, just really take a look at that and get better at saying no to things that don't really give you life. So, those are some ways to prevent potential stressful situations. And again, just giving yourself space, giving yourself time to practice self care. So, self care can look different for everybody. For some people, that might be taking a bath. I like to take baths like with Epsom salt and essential oils is really, really nice. Good for your muscles, good for decreasing stress levels, increasing your magnesium levels, which is from the Epsom salt and has a lot of benefits as well. I gotta throw in massage because I'm a massage therapist, and that is a really good way to de-stress. But I know that that might not be something that somebody can easily do, especially right now. But that definitely has a lot of benefits, massaging muscles, because again, a physical consequence of prolonged stress is your muscles can get really tight and cause pain. So getting a massage could be a good way to de-stress. And another way, maybe it's just something you need to talk about. I am a big proponent of counseling, and even if you don't feel like you have some huge, horrible thing that you need to divulge or work through, even if you feel like normal, just talking to somebody that is neutral can be really, really helpful, and just kind of get things out. Because when we shove things in and we're not expressing ourselves or our emotions, there are a lot of health consequences to that as well. I when I was in massage school, I learned a lot about the physical ramifications of certain emotions. And so if certain part of your body is hurting or there's problems there, there can be a specific emotion attached to that specific body part. And I've always found that really, really fascinating. There's a really good book about that. I'm going to grab it really quick. If this is something that is interesting to you, there's a really great book called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, which is kind of an intense title. But you can look up a certain emotion in the back of the book you look up a certain physical ailment and then it tells you what emotions can be attached to that and what emotions can be contributing to that physical issue. So let me give you an example. I just opened it up and I looked at, it says hips. So if you have issues with your hips, emotions that could be attached to that issue, fear of making major decisions, feeling like you have nothing to look forward to, lack of emotional and physical self-support, and specifically hip joint, not wanting to accept present experiences or non-acceptance of physical experiences. So it just like lists off different things like that for specific issues, and I think it's really fascinating. So I recommend this book if that is something that you guys would like to learn more about. And so lastly, I have a lot of essential oil ideas for this, obviously. Essential oils are so helpful for feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious or sad. I have several out right here in front of my desk that I want to talk about. And in the other videos, I talked about Lifelong Vitality Pack. So this is, again, such a foundational product. It is helping with all of these things: eating right, exercise, and of course rest and managing stress. So these can help with better sleep and also with balancing emotions and decreasing stress levels. And so I'm just going to go through these oils we have here. So we have one called Breathe. This is the respiratory blend. And sometimes when we're stressed, we don't take full breaths, our breathing is increased, or we don't feel like we are getting those full breaths that we need. And so what I like to do with this is just drop in your palms and breathe it in, and it just smells really good. And then I like to rub it on my chest and just help to open up those airways, and that helps your body to calm down as well. Another foundational one would be frankincense. So frankincense is known as the king of oils. It is so good for everything. One of the doctors that started doTERRA recommends putting at least a drop under your tongue every single day. That is helping your cells function better. It's helping your organs. It helps with brain health. It helps, and again, it helps with balancing emotions and just processing emotions better. So I think you would definitely notice a difference with frankincense, taking that under your tongue every day. And again, when I say under your tongue or anything internal, I'm only talking about doTERRA oils. I don't trust any other brand to take internally, but because doTERRA oils are so pure and so tested, and the way that they are, like the plants that they come from, the soil, everything is the only one that is safe to take internally. So the frankincense is really good for helping de-stress. Copaiba is another one that's really good for that. It's very calming. So any of the calming oils is going to be good. This is a really good calming one. It's called Balance. And it's a blend of different oils. It also has frankincense inside of it, as well as some tree oils. And what else? I think it has lavender in here. It's such small writing. Chamomile. So a lot of calming oils. And this is one of my favorite smells. I really love the smell of that. But actually, I think it was 2 years ago, doTERRA came out with a line of products that is specifically for this. It's all about mental and emotional help, or just health, I should say. Just really, again, dealing with those anxious feelings or sad feelings or feeling overwhelmed. This is so effective. So it is called Adaptive. It has this pretty shiny label, and it comes in the oil. It also comes in a roller that you can easily roll on, and it also comes in some capsules. So inside the capsules, they have GABA, which is a neurotransmitter, which I've heard someone describe it as it's like putting the brakes on the brain. So if your thoughts are just spiraling or all over the place and you just can't get it to like slow down and calm down, that is what this is specifically created for. And it's really, really effective at just calming things down, but not in the sense of putting you to sleep. It's just like helping your brain to calm down and to cope and adapt to the situation that you're in. So if you are in a stressful situation, if that's something you deal with a lot, these are really, really helpful. When we we moved into a new house in June, and I remember feeling very overwhelmed and stressed with all of the things I had to do with my long to-do list. And you know how it's just like one little thing that can put you over the edge? Well, it was curtains for me. I got really stressed out about our curtain situation and what I wanted. And like, I know it's silly, but that's what stressed me out at that time. And I was just feeling very frantic and stressed out about that. And I realized, I was like, oh, I forgot to take my supplements today. And so I took my Lifelong Vitality and I took an adaptive capsule. And then just like I did with the Breathe, I took this adaptive oil, put a drop in my palm, and then just breathed it in. And it smells really good. And then I put it on the back of my neck. And this is really funny, but within maybe 20 to 30 minutes, I realized that I was happily on the floor playing with my son, and I was singing the song Zippity Doo Dah, Zippity Day, my oh my, what a wonderful day. and then I realized, I was like, wait a second. I was just super stressed out about my to-do list. And then all of a sudden I am singing and happy and carefree. And when I thought about my super long to-do list, I just thought, oh, it'll all get done. It'll be fine. And I was just like, wow, this is effective. So these are some of the tools that I like to use when I am feeling that stress. And these are good things to do, again, proactively to help prevent that stressful feeling, because, again, there's a lot of health consequences to it. It's not good for our bodies to be constantly stressed. I also really like to add this to Epsom baths. That's really a nice thing to do as well. So I really encourage you to, again, have margin in your day, time to intentionally be taking care of your body, And self-care, I know self-care is a term thrown around very easily, and it can kind of get washed down, but it's very important. And so take time again to be like feeding your body the nutrients that it needs and helping with those stressful feelings, moving your body with exercise or some kind of movement, whatever your level is or your ability at the time. Just make sure that you're moving your body, you're getting enough sleep. All of these things are really going to help out. Oh, Cherry says that she just used Adaptive a couple minutes ago. Awesome. That's really cool, Cherry. Keep using it. It's so great. I love it. It smells so good too. All right. I want to hear some other things that you guys like to do to de-stress. Because again, it's kind of personal preferences. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Maybe yoga's your thing. Maybe a walk on the beach. I don't know. I miss beaches. But anyways, let me know in the comments what your favorite way to de-stress is, and also on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing with the stress, managing stress on a scale of 1 to 10. All right, thank you guys. This was a little bit of a longer video, but whatever. I will be back tomorrow, and this is going to be a fun one. Oh, actually, I might not make it tomorrow. I have massage clients tomorrow, so it might be Sunday. But the next one on the wellness pyramid is reducing toxic load. So that is a topic I like to talk about too. So that will be the next Wellness Week video, reducing toxic load. All right, thank you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.